Okay, imaginary numbers. This is an imaginary number, I, and that's equal to the square root of -1. Now, of course, if you square that, if you have I squared, then that's the same thing as the square root of -1 times itself, which square root of -1 times the square root of -1 would just be -1. Anytime you multiply two square roots that are the same together, you just get an answer that is under one of the square root signs, -1. Now, if I had I to the third, that's the same thing as saying I squared, which is what we just had, times the square root of -1. And that's the same thing as I. That's the same thing as this. I squared times I. The I squared times I would give me I to the third power. I squared times I to the first is I to the third power. But we simplify that by saying I squared, which we already know, is -1. We write that down in place of I squared. And then we know we have another I that goes with it, which is the square root of -1. You don't have to write that. You can just write I, which means we're going to be left with -I. This I to the third power would be -I. So back at the beginning, we'll review. There's just the basic definition is I is equal to the square root of -1. I squared means that you're going to square what we had before. The square root of -1 times itself just gives you what's under the square root sign, which is -1. Now I to the third, that's the same as I squared times I. We already know what I squared is, and that is -1. Now I is the square root of -1, but you don't have to write that. You can just put I, which means we're left with a -I so far.